Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
The Arkansas Senate passes a heartbeat bill. Hi, I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. Matt, one of the things that happened during the 2012 election is something historic in Arkansas. The Arkansas legislature now is controlled on the House and the Senate by Republicans. It's the first time since Reconstruction since this has actually happened. And now in the Senate, there has been a new bill that's passed, and that is a bill that is called a heartbeat bill, which would say that after you detect a heartbeat, most abortions would be banned except for the physical life of the mother, rape, or incest, which essentially would cover almost most of the abortions. And heartbeat happens very early in the pregnancy. So this now goes over to the House side, and from there to the governor. So this is a big step forward in the state of Arkansas.
Yeah, very encouraging. You know, the pro-abortion death culture is dying a death by 1,000 cuts, and this is just another incremental step in the right direction in protecting innocent human life here. And obviously, Matt, you and I both know that and science has established that it is a human life from the moment of conception. But now at least they've taken a step in the right direction in saying in Arkansas, and if it gets through the House and makes it to the desk of the governor and is signed into law, saying that at the very least, once a baby, there's a noticeable heartbeat that can be registered, that is illegal.
Yeah, well, this bill actually was originally, or a version of it was originally presented in Ohio. It didn't pass, but it went through significant legislative votes there, and it'll come back in the state of Ohio at some point in the near future. It's now in the Arkansas Senate, already passed the Senate, and we have been involved, Liberty Counsel has been involved in working with the legislatures, particularly the sponsor of this bill in the Senate side, to ultimately get it to the place where it is right now. In fact, Senator Rappaport is actually, I should say Jason Rappert, is the bill's sponsor. And we've been in contact with him. He said this, quote, "I'm asking you to stand up for life, and I believe when there is a heartbeat based upon even the standard the Supreme Court has utilized, you cannot have a viable child without a heartbeat." He told lawmakers before they approved the legislation. 5 Democrats joined all 21 of the Senate Republicans to vote for the bill, and 2 Democratic lawmakers spoke out against the bill, saying they believed it would be an invasion of a woman's rights to make a decision about her own health. And now here's the thing, though. You know, if you use heartbeat to determine whether or not somebody has died, and we still use that in many respects, or, you know, the brain electroencephalogram, why don't you use heartbeat to determine that you should protect human life? I mean, it's just a logical conclusion. If you use it at the end of your
right.
life, why don't you use it early on at the beginning?
Yeah, very well stated. You measure the end of a person's life by this, in part, the stopping of their heartbeat. So obviously, if the heartbeat is still going, a person is alive. So, boy, I tell you, what an untenable and uncomfortable position for these Democrats here that are opposing this bill to be in. To basically, they're saying we have a heartbeat, we know we have a living human being here, but we are against or we are for allowing that person to be killed. There's no way around it. They've removed any wiggle room. And now the hope is, of course, and Democratic Governor Mike Beebe has not ruled out signing this into law either. They said that he says that they're researching it, they're looking into it, and Matt, you and I both know that it will be challenged in the courts as a violation from the pro-aborts of Roe v. Wade. But I think this may be the kind of case we'd like to see go before the United States Supreme Court.
Well, a heartbeat can be detected as early as the 6 weeks after the fertilized egg. So it can be detected that early, which is basically about the time that someone would realize that they're even pregnant, right, because their menstrual period they would miss one menstrual period. So it is very early in the pregnancy. Yeah. And, actually from the moment of conception, you are a distinct individual human being. Your DNA is set. Your hair color is set. Whether you're going to be prone to have diabetes is already determined at that moment when the egg and the sperm come together at that moment. The only difference between that moment of conception and a 76-year-old individual is 76 years. It's just time. That's all it is.
Different stage of development. They've removed, the left loves to lob on to but the life of the mother, and they'll break out the minute, decimal point beyond instances of rape or incest, and they'll say, but you're going to let women die from their pregnancies. No, this says if the woman's life is in imminent danger, then this bill does not cover that. But this whole notion of the health of the mother that they use as a euphemism to mean anything at all. The health can be if they're not comfortable with gaining a few pounds, and the doctor just signs off and says, well, that's going to upset the health of the mother. They're not playing that semantical game. They're saying the imminent, the life of the mother is in imminent danger.
Yeah, and where that health exception came in is in the companion case to Roe versus Wade called Doe versus Bolton, a case that came out of Georgia, decided the same day as Roe versus Wade, January 22, 1973. It doesn't get the kind of attention that Roe does because Roe is the one that set up the trimester system. Doe versus Bolton was also about abortion from Georgia. Roe was from Texas. And it addressed the issue of what it means to have the health of the mother. And what they did was they used the World Health Organization definition of health. You and I would think life or health of the mother. We would think of a life and death situation. But they define it in Doe versus Bolton as, like you said, anything that's psychological, familial, sociological. If you are emotionally not ready for the child, if you have a career that you want to pursue. In other words, for any reason, from the moment of conception until the child is born, takes the breath outside the womb, under Roe versus Wade and the companion case Doe versus Bolton, you can have an abortion. It makes no sense. Most people still today, even though we've had abortion for 40 years, do not realize that you can have an abortion through all 9 months of pregnancy. And most people, when they realize that, would just be aghast.
Yeah, well, the left has done such a good job with their sensationalist talking points here. Listen to this, and they haven't slowed down one bit. You can hear the panic in their voice because they're jumping right to the old, tired talking points here. Can you imagine what or a Democrat Linda Chesterfield says this, I don't want to go back to when women used kerosene and clothes hangers because they didn't have a choice. That's that same sensationalist nonsense that we heard as they were trying to get Roe v. Wade rammed through. It worked, and again, sensationalism.
Well, this is good news for life in Arkansas. We've got a Republican Senate and a Republican House. It's passed the House in Arkansas. Liberty Counsel's been involved with Jason Rappert, the senator who sponsored the bill in the Senate side, and also other leaders down in Arkansas. That's where Jim Bob Duggar and the Duggar family live, is in Arkansas, the 19 and counting that have the TV reality series. And, of course, he's been very influential, and his family have as well in the local state politics in Arkansas, and they've been very much involved in this. They have joined with Liberty Counsel and others for our lifeunited.org. I encourage you to go to lifeunited.org. This is a website that we have come together where the Jim Bob Duggar family, 19 and counting, Liberty Counsel, other pro-life organizations have come together to provide all kinds of great resources at lifeunited.org. I encourage you to check out that website. Also, go to Liberty Counsel's website as well. You can sign up for our Liberty Alert email. I want to point you to two important events that are coming up. One is the Awakening 2013 in Orlando, Florida, April 19 and 20. You can click on lc.org and sign up for that right there. That's the Awakening 2013 in Orlando, April 19 and 20. And you can also learn more about our trip to Israel. That will be in mid-May of this year, 2013. For more information, go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org, or call us today at 1-800-671-1776. When you call us, ask for some of our bumper stickers, or you can email us. Hold Their Feet to the Fire is one. Don't Tread on Me is another. Plus, we have many other resources as well. Again, that website is lc.org. Remember Liberty Counsel in your prayers and your financial support.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.